know my TBR on Goodreads was giving me the side eye when I was adding all these smutty books and romance books to my TBR, but it's for a video, Goodreads, okay? You can judge me later, alright? Hello, Booktubing World is I, Capri Nicole, and I'm back with another video. Today, it is going to be a romance recommendation video, which is not something I usually do because I'm not gonna lie, I'm lacking on the romantic genre. I don't typically pick up romance books, but because it is Melanin book magic, baby, you already know all these characters are either black or the authors are either black. So get your pencil, get your paper, get that Goodreads app open, and get ready to copy. So today I have 10 romance recommendations for you, all black authors or black characters or whatever. Make sure you write it down. So the first book that I have is in a series, and it's called A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. And in this book you have Portia, who has become an apprentice to a sword maker, and she thinks it would be easy, but it is not, okay? Skill is not the only thing she needs in this job requirement. She needs patience because the tensions are high. The sun is like blaring at me right now, okay? So yeah, the lighting might be weird. I don't know what's happening right now. The tensions are high between her and the guy she's working under or around or whatever. He does not like her ass, okay? So it is just making it really difficult, but you already know it's going to be a hate to love romance. You already know. It is the second book in the Reluctant Royals series, and I actually already have that book. She was an auto-buy author for me because B was raving about this entire series. So I bought all three at once. So I actually have that one already on my shelf, and I'm super excited to get my hands on it. The next book that I have is actually the novella in between the series of the Reluctant Royals. It is called Once Ghosted, Twice Shy, and it follows our MC, who is an assistant to the prince, and she had her own little love thing going on, you know, but then the girl, she ghosted her, okay? She ghosted her and she broke her heart, and now she's trying to recover from that, and she is in New York. The girl that broke her heart is there as well, and they've decided to come on speaking terms, and she's trying to get a little bit of closure and understanding as to why it all happened, and it just follows their love story. And I love this cover so damn much. I need to pick it up, but I think I have the mass market paperback version, and the letters are really, really tiny. I don't know if that's how all of the romance books are, but I need bigger print. I need bigger print, so I might have to pick up the Kindle version or something, because I don't know if I could roll with the little tiny letters again. But I absolutely love this cover. I'm super excited to read it because it seems short, and I really liked the assistant, who is the main character in this novella. So I'm really excited to see what happened with her and the girl, because she was doing cameos within the first book, which I read, A Princess in Theory. So I really want to know what went down because I'm nosy, okay? So the next book that I have on my list is Brown Sugar by D. Rose, and this book follows our MC, who just recently went through a heartbreak, and she's leaning on poetry to be able to cope with her recent breakup. And while she goes to her poetry and recites her word, you better get it, girl, she ends up falling for one of the performers who does acoustic covers of his favorite songs. And he just has a sultry voice, and he has the guitar. You mix it together, and he fine. It all goes together beautifully, okay? She's a little skeptical because obviously she just ended a serious relationship and she doesn't know what to expect, but obviously a romance ensues. So it follows that love story, and I am super excited to pick this one up. So the next book that I have, I added to my list because I've had this book on my shelf for 600 years. And I'm trying to do this thing where I buy books and I read them when I buy them or before I buy other books. It needs to happen. It sounds simple, but the deeper you get into the book community, the more books you buy and the more they collect dust. It's like I'm trying to read the books on my shelves that I have not read. And this book is called Midnight. It's by Sister Soldier. My cousin lent me the first book, which I already read. So it follows the MC Midnight, and he is 16. He's very quiet and to himself. He's also Muslim, and he recently fell in love with a girl from Japan, and her name is Akimi. So if you plan on reading this book after seeing this cover, mute it because I'm gonna do a little bit of spoilery. But if you don't care about the spoilers, then just keep listening. In the first book, they got married, and now after they got married, her father does not agree with the marriage, so he goes and finds her and scoops her up and brings her back home. He's like, we not doing this, okay? So he goes and scoops her up, brings her back home, and now Midnight is determined to find his wife and get her back to him. It was obviously consent, even though they were teenagers. I would never get married at 16, but everyone's religion and culture are completely different, so I cannot speak on that, but I'm interested in seeing where the story goes. He was a little arrogant. You know, he got on my nerves a little bit in the first book, but hopefully he gets some character development in book 2. So we have to see how that goes. So the next book that I have on my list is Work Song by Danielle Allen. So this book follows our MC Tati, who is tired of the peanut gallery commenting on her body image and commenting on her love life, or lack thereof. Okay, her family is completely aware that she is never going to find love because she is so damn hard up, and her ex-fiance also says that she will never find love because she's incapable of loving anyone. So she kind of just settles into that idea. She's never really had the sparks fly when she meets anybody, and she's really surprised when she actually feels those sparks and those butterflies with someone she's never actually met. So it follows her new love interest and her spreading her wings in the romance. Get it together, Capri. Synopsis is very mysterious, so they're not going to tell us who the love interest is or where the hell he came from, but I want my hands on this book ASAP. The next book that I have on my list is Nappily Ever After, and it's actually a series. I never read the first book, but I watched the movie with Sanaa Lathan because that is my girl, okay? That's my girl. It follows the MC Venus, who is a pretty much cookie cutter girl. Like, she knows exactly what she needs to do to be deemed the perfect woman, or the most beautiful woman, or the ideal woman, ideal girlfriend, whatever. Or her ex-boyfriend tells her, you don't know who you are because you're pretending to be someone perfect. And that's when she starts to realize she is pretending to be somebody perfect. She doesn't even know who the hell she is. So she's done with perfecting who she is and being this perfect idea of what a woman's supposed to be, and decides to find her own journey and figure out what she wants, who she is, and just her whole self-journey and her self-love. And she ends up meeting the single father on the way, and they ended up being friends and really getting to know each other, and she just dives more into who she is as a woman and who she is without needing everyone's approval. And I love the movie. I was kind of surprised to see that it got such like shady reviews, but I didn't read any of the reviews, but it just wasn't like raving reviews like I expected. I honestly really enjoyed the movie. I thought Sanaa did a phenomenal job, and I really want to pick up the series because I think it's probably going to be really good. And since I saw the movie, I would love to read the book, of course. The next book that I have on my list is Longshot, and it follows our MC Iris, who has just ended a really turmoil of a relationship with the NBA player, and she has sworn off of all of them. She don't want to have to deal with them anymore because it was just very toxic and violent, and she wants to stay away from that entire situation. But she slowly starts to fall for the new star of the NBA team, and she's very skeptical after having to deal with the after effects of her previous relationship. This lighting is not doing this to me. Hold on. Sun started going down. I had to close the blinds. So she is very skeptical about even attempting to persuade this possibility of a love interest. And I am not big on books that have sports. Like, sports and books aren't really like my go-to trope, and I kind of steer away from that because your girl don't know anything about sports. I don't like sports. I don't get it, but I really am interested in seeing what this book is going to be about, and it sounds really interesting. The reviews are absolutely raving, so I want to give it a chance. I'm excited for this one. Okay, so the next one that I have on my list, I am super excited about, and it is called Grading Curve, and it follows our MC Nikki, who had a wild night of amazing tattoos and other amazing things. And she thinks that the night has wrapped up and she is done until she walks into her classroom to teach and sees that the man that gave her tattoos and other things is sitting up in her classroom because he is her student, okay? You know, the teacher trope really isn't my thing, but this just sounds like it's going to be so much tension, and I'm just here for it. I love a good slow burn. I love a good slow burn. And you got some tattoos implemented up in there. Obviously, a girl loves ink. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So I'm super excited to pick this one up. And this cover, The next book that I have on my list, I'm going to put right here. I don't know how to say this title name. I'm not going to try to and make a fool of myself. Thank you. No, thank you. So this book follows our MC, who is a doctor and recently divorced, and she's looking for someone to help take care of her kids. And of course, she finds a fine nanny to do so. The nanny trope isn't really my thing, but your girl needs to pick it up, because Steph was talking about this book and she said that the MC, who is the doctor, her name is Dr. Salome, is very similar to Maggie from Grey's Anatomy in a lot of the like later seasons. I think they're on like season 16 or something like that, but I do know who Maggie is and I like her, so I'm really interested in seeing a character that is similar to her. And the final book that I have on my list is a companion novel to Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. If I say any of these names wrong, I'm so sorry, because I'm not good with authors' names, so I apologize. It follows the MC Danny, who has completely sworn off of men and women because her dating life has been absolutely garbage and she's over it. So she decides to just stick to hit it and quit it, okay? One night stands, all right? No ties, no relationships, no BS, no none of that. She tries to find someone that will agree to these terms, and she has her eyes on the security guard at her job, and she is going to go in for the kill until a fire drill happens and he ends up having to rescue her from the building, and they become friends. She tries to persuade him into this idea, but he would like to go further into a romantic relationship with her. He would like to date her, but she like, I'm on the hit it and quit it train. We're not doing the romance thing. No thank you. But he's just like a hopeless romantic, so it pretty much just follows them button heads about wanting two different things, and hopefully she melts into trusting him and giving love a second chance. The cover is absolutely cute, adorable. I loved her little cameos in Get a Life Chloe Brown, and I feel like she's going to be an amazing character and probably hilarious, and I'm just here for it. I love when the male MCs are the hopeless romantics, because it just seems even more sweet. I live for it, so I'm super excited to get this one. So those are all of the books that I have for recommendations. I hope you tacked them all up on your Goodreads, and if you didn't, I hope you put them in your notes or wrote them down or whatever. I hope you had them ears open, okay? If you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, and if you don't know what to comment at the end of my videos, if you make it here, just leave pink hearts in the comment section or the black heart. Those are my favorites. I hope everybody's having a fabulous and beautiful Black History Month, okay? Make sure you check out all of my Melanin Book Magic series videos. Make sure you watch the ones from last year if you would like to, and I will have plenty of more content coming your way, so just stay tuned for all that, baby. Stay tuned for all that. I hope you got some really good recommendations in this video, and if you have any recommendations for me, I would greatly appreciate them, because your girl is lacking in the romance books on the shelf. I probably got like 10 of them. It's probably like this many. Okay, so any recommendations you have that you absolutely love, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time.